their language.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing that happened to African Americans that came
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yes, like, I think it kind of, it changed, not only did it change like their culture, I also think it changed the brain chemicals of who they are.
Mm.
Because I feel like, obviously their native language was suppressed, which
Mm-hmm.
means that they were told not to speak the language, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So by that being suppressed, it changes who you are internally, and
Absolutely.
that like manifests in our society what we see today.
Language and identity. Yes, language is a large part of identity, I believe. The language we use. This is a great topic in sociolinguistics, which is the study of, I would say, essentially society and language.
Yeah.
And so, we research questions as in, what does someone's language say about them? What is language? How does someone use language
Yeah.
for other reasons, or how do they adapt? And um, specifically in this example, I think of an example of with Spanish, and with a large immigration of Spanish-speaking immigrants coming to the United States. Whatever your opinion is, of that, but
Yeah.
at the very least, linguistically, is very fascinating because you have people that are coming here and they speak English. I know, so they speak Spanish and they're learning English at the same time, but they still prefer Spanish.
Yeah.
And so, we get varieties of like of other. I would say some would say it's not a language, but I would agree. But I would argue that is language, like Spanglish. And so we wonder: is that a language? Is that a cultural identity? Is that something that we should talk about?
Yeah.
And I think it's something we should, honestly, because Spanglish. Like, should we view it as code switching? As in, should we view code switching would be an example of uh, hmm. You can do. I'm gonna say like I would say English word in Spanish sentence. So like I like a very one that was code switching before was I like queso.
I like queso.
Yes, so like queso is a Spanish word, but now it's changed to mean something that like it's a dip. Where in Spanish it means cheese, just cheese, like a block of cheese or
Yeah.
yeah. And so that's something that's like we added into the language.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of like the language evolution. So like that's how cultures change, and so that's what I'm saying with like English coming into this group A. Will something change inevitably? Yes, because that's what happens when two people come together, right?
Yeah.
They exchange ideas, they exchange signs, and so that's another interesting aspect of it. And so, how do they understand the signs, right? How do they understand this type of language that you're using? It's a big question. Yeah,
Yeah.
a big question of mine, I should say. I don't know about other linguists, but